Hey guys, welcome back. This is Tarun again, back with yet another fitness video for you folks. So in this video, I will be sharing something with you which can actually change the game for you folks. These things that I'm about to share, has been extensively used by bodybuilders, fitness models, actors, to kind of transform their bodies. They're not magic pills, but at times they work like magic. What are those three things? So I'm just talking about three things. Manipulating these three things in your diet can actually do wonders. So what are those three things? Number one, sugar. Number two, salt. And number three, water. So let's start in the reverse order. Water. Now water, we know that, our body 70% is made up of water, and the importance of water is such that you got to have more and more water. But bodybuilders and fitness models, they use this as a weapon of choice, when it comes to preparing for competition. I don't know if you know this or not, but what they do is they manipulate their water intake, before competition, which means, right before competition, like a month or 2 months before competition, they really load up on their water, which means they start drinking more and more water, about 6 liters, 7 liters, even 8 liters for that matter. And come last week of their competition, some of them, they bring it down to about 500 ml, 600 ml, and or probably about a liter. But in India, they just completely leave out water, which is not a good thing. So the point here that I'm trying to make here is that if you were to drink a lot of water, if you were to hydrate yourself with decent water intake, chances of you holding water in your body are a lot lesser. So if you're thinking by not drinking water, you're doing yourself a favor, because some people feel heavier after drinking water, is actually not the right thing to do. If you really want to lose that water beneath your skin, that visceral fat, you really need to drink up on more and more and more water. Minimum 4 to 5 liters of water, guys, and there is no compromise on that. You got to have more water to get rid of your water retention. Water will ensure it avoids water retention for you folks. It's true, it's tried and tested across the globe. You may want to try it for yourself. So guys, if you really want to get rid of that water retention, start drinking water. Number two, salt. Salt is something that it is considered to be the enemy these days, for a simple fact, because excessive salt can actually lead to high blood pressure, which is hypertension. We all know that, but I'm not going to be talking more from a medical perspective. I'll be talking the usage of salt in the bodybuilding and the fitness fraternity, how they use it. Let's say for a bodybuilder or a fitness athlete, if he or she is preparing for a competition, the first thing they do is they minimize their salt intake. When I say minimizing, what doctors usually recommend, across the globe, you should only be having this much salt all through the day. And how much do we actually have? We have no idea. It's actually much more than that. So if you really want, because the reason why salt is touted to be the enemy, because it makes you hold a lot of water, because salt and water are good friends. The moment you have too much of salt, if you must have, I'll give you an example. Now let's say you go for movies and you want to have there is this combination of popcorn and Pepsi together. Why? Because the moment you have popcorn, which is salty, you're raising your body, obviously your thirst levels go up. So then immediately what you want to do is you want to have water, and that is exactly what happens. The body craves for more water when you have salt. That's why salt invites a lot of water retention. So that's why I always tell you guys that salt is one of the considered to be one of the enemies when it comes to water retention. If you have an issue with water retention, the first thing you really need to do is minimize salt from your diet, and start drinking more and more water. Coming back to bodybuilders, so what bodybuilders typically do is or fitness models, because every one of us wants to look like those fitness models, they minimize their salt intake. If you look at any of those bodybuilders, if you look at the kind of food they eat, they don't salt their food. The only thing that they do is they put black pepper or they put lemon before their competition, because they know salt will make them hold a lot of water. So they if not complete elimination, they minimize their salt, and because complete elimination of sodium and salt from your diet will kind of make you have cramps, and it will affect your daily functioning. So a little bit of salt is very, very important. A little bit of sodium is very important for you to function right. So don't even think of eliminating salt from your diet, because you are inviting trouble. You would not be able to function properly. So a little bit of salt is important. That's what bodybuilders do. They also just minimize it. But the moment they have their competition coming up a day or or 2 or 3 days before, then they completely go off salt. Absolutely no salt whatsoever, for a simple fact because they want to look even more drier and chiseled for that particular show. So this is the impact of salt on our bodies, and this is exactly how these guys use. Number 3, sugar. Now sugar is, we all know, is the enemy. Sugar has been touted to be the enemy of the world when it comes to fitness. Obesity is linked with too much of sugar. We love sugar, but the problem with sugar is that because it's simple carbs, it just immediately gets stored as fat. But the way fitness models and the way athletes use sugar is that they also eliminate sugar from their diet. And when I'm talking about sugar, I'm also talking about fruits. I'm also talking about fructose sugar, because fructose sugar is available in fruits. They even go off fruits whatsoever, because when you're getting ready for a competition, you really don't want any sugar, not too much of salt. You only want more and more water, drinking more and more water, so that whatever little water that you're holding beneath your skin gets flushed out, so you look drier, you look muscular, you look vascular, all veiny. That's exactly the idea, guys. The reason I'm sharing this with you is, because you always ask this question, that how can I look more veiny? How can I look veiny? Means more veins across your hands and everywhere. So these are the 3 components that you actually need to manipulate, guys: your salt intake, your sugar intake, and your water intake. Water intake has to be high, between 4 to 6 liters a day, so that the more water you drink, the more water you flush out from your body, and the drier you become, the drier you get, the more veiny and vascular you look. And number 2, salt. The lesser salt you take, the lesser sodium you take, the lesser water retention you will develop in your body, which means your body will not be able to hold that much of water underneath the skin. Your skin will look thinner, paper thinner, and it will make you look a lot harder. Number 3, sugar. Sugar will do the same at what salt would do. It will make you look harder. Elimination of sugar from your diet. But I'm not saying you eliminate fruit sugar from your diet, but if you really want that dry look, if you really want that vascular look, these are you may want to think about fruits also, for leaving out fruits for about a week or so, and see how that works out for you. So these are the 3 critical things that you can actually do in your diet. Make changes in your diet and see for yourself what it can do to you. Salt, sugar, and water, guys. They are your best friends. Forget protein, forget carbs, forget fats. Obviously those are the macronutrients. They play a critical role, but these 3 things, water, salt, and sugar, can actually turn the table for you folks, guys. So do think about them. Do think of minimizing them, salt and sugar, and maximizing your water intake to get the best out of your body. So hope this information comes in handy to you. Any one of you who have any questions around this, feel free to reach out to me either on my YouTube, my Facebook, or even on my Instagram, and I'll be very happy to help you with your goal. So until we meet again, peace.